34th Street, and tonight they say the poor guy didn't make it, died up at Bellevue. Here's man Mac Rosenberg now with the unthinkable at Herald Square today.
This happened about 12:40, and police say the man lost his footing and died after being taken to Bellevue Hospital. He was hit by a southbound D train. For people who I spoke to on the platform, it's frightening, and it's something that has people like John Powers rethinking
in
where they
3/10 of a
stand on the
mile,
platform.
left turn onto West Main Street.
I do that more because, recently there's been so many people on the tracks and pushed on the tracks and everything else, so I try to stay in the middle like I am now.
And any time of year, this area and the Herald Square station usually pretty busy. That was the case today. Again, the victim, hit by a southbound D train, has died. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM at Herald Square.
That's why I say I just stand all the way up against the wall until the train stops or whatever. It's just crazy because I'm always afraid, the train is going to snag my clothing if I'm walking close to the line, waiting or looking for a good spot to get on or whatever. On a brighter note now, it's that time of year, and the New York Roadrunners getting ready for the TCS New York City Marathon. Started this morning with gallons of ceremonial stripes that have to be painted, marking the route that'll go through all 5 boroughs. 50,000 runners expected to tread that line. The NYPD says it'll be safe. They started getting their game plan in order, too.
NYPD Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence and Counterterrorism Rebecca Weiner says there are
no specific, credible, or imminent threats against the marathon or the city.
But, given the turmoil in Israel, New York is in a heightened threat environment, so extra resources will be on hand for the marathon.
Heavy weapons teams from our counterterrorism division, canines, special vapor wake detection canines, radiation detection patrols, the deployment of our chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive detection and mitigation capabilities. All of the runners and all of their belongings are going to be screened at the beginning of the race.
Plus, plainclothes officers, cameras, and sand trucks. Spectators, keep your eyes open. No unauthorized drones allowed. Sean Adams, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Again, the marathon is this Sunday. Make your travel plans accordingly, everybody. From a Manhattan courtroom, Sam Bankman-Fried told a story, and he lied to you. That's the final word from prosecutors during closing arguments yesterday in the month-long trial of the FTX founder, accused of defrauding his customers and investors out of at least $10 billion. That was yesterday, or today, by the way. They say he spent the money on bling for himself and campaign contributions. Prosecutors telling jurors, follow the overwhelming evidence and the pyramid of deceit. Follow the money, in other words. Assistant U.S. Attorney Nicholas Roos says Bankman-Fried was collared back in December when thousands of FTX customers started freaking out and went to withdraw their investments, savings, and nest eggs, and there was nothing there. Bankman-Fried has been out on a personal recognizance bond, which was revoked after the judge concluded he was trying to influence prospective trial witnesses. Well, now the defense table will do its closing remarks. The case expected to go to the jury sometime tomorrow. Wednesday News Time 426, and now Bloomberg Money Watch. Here's Andrew O'Day.
Make it 3 winning days this week for Wall Street. Today, the Dow rose 222, NASDAQ added 210, S&P rose 44. But the market reacted favorably to the Fed, which in its second-to-last policy meeting of the year decided not to raise interest rates but keep them where they are at 22-year highs. Slew of earnings reports after the close of trading, including Airbnb, which says economic volatility is dampening travel demand. The company is forecasting weaker revenue to wrap up the year than the market had been expecting. Etsy says its sales met estimates for last quarter, but its shares are tumbling in extended trade as it forecasts weakness here in the holiday quarter. DoorDash says even with the pandemic faded, many people would rather have stuff like restaurant meals and groceries brought to them than to have to go out and get them. Delivery company's profits for the just finished quarter and forecast for the current quarter both ahead of expectations. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26:56 past every hour. I'm Andrew O'Day, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
All right, Drew, Wednesday time 427.
Feeling old and decrepit because of knee arthritis pain? Taking pain meds like they're candy? Giving up everyday activities as your pain worsens? Looking down a barrel of major knee replacement? Left untreated, arthritis can eat away at the joint, slowly becoming bone on bone. If you've tried pain meds, cortisone, physical therapy, or vitamins without relief, you may be a candidate for the NYC Pain MD program. NYC Pain MD's doctors combine precision digital imaging with natural FDA-approved arthritis formulas, nerve blocks, seed and stem cells to turn your pain off and rejuvenate your knees. After treatment, you'll leave with nothing but a 1-inch Band-Aid. No surgery, no hospital, no toxic meds. Many pain sufferers are now able to walk, bend, climb stairs, even play golf or tennis. Many insurances, including Original Medicare, may cover these advanced treatments. Call today for a no-cost screening appointment. Call 800-600-KNEE. That's 800-600-5633. 800-600-KNEE.
A psoriasis flare-up can make a walk in the park, well, no walk in the park.
It's that obvious, huh? I've tried so many lotions and creams, but I still have symptoms.
So those don't do enough to treat the inflammation beneath the skin, leaving you with those uncontrolled symptoms.
Makes sense, but what else can I do?
You can get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Make an appointment and, oh, you're already on it.
Hi, yes, I'd like to make an appointment.
Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
50,000 stories converge at the TCS New York City Marathon. 5 boroughs, over 1 million spectators, and one undeniable truth. It will move you. Watch the race this Sunday, November 5th at 7 a.m. on WABC.
I love that guy's voice. It will move you. A shower in some spots through the rest of the afternoon, which may move you as well, especially in the Hudson Valley, Connecticut, and on Long Island, might move you quickly to get out of the way. Tonight, cold and turning out clear with diminishing wind, a widespread frost of the birds with a hard freeze in some of the outlying areas. We're talking lows in the 20s, everybody. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny, still chilly out, a high of 50. Tomorrow night, mainly clear, not quite as chilly, with lows ranging from the 30s in the suburbs to 42 degrees here in town. Good afternoon, I'm Larry Mullins. When's news time at the tone? 4:30.
Good afternoon, I'm Lori Madden. An abandoned house in Belrose wasn't empty, not according to investigators who found all matters of contraband.
There was really nothing unusual about the house at 249-27 88th Road in Belrose, except for the fact that no one lived there. Kids could be seen playing stickball next door, and there were 2 daycare centers nearby. But Queens DA Melinda Katz says that house was used to package a lot of drugs. $10 to $11 million worth of illegal drugs.
A search of the home found 8 kilograms of heroin, fentanyl, and cocaine, and 1.5 million glassine envelopes containing heroin and a mix of fentanyl.
There were more than a dozen loaded guns and hundreds of rounds of ammunition there, too. And so far, there's been 1 arrest.
We are prosecuting Victor Rodriguez, and last week was arraigned on a 112-count indictment.
The drugs were discovered by a contractor who had been hired to work on the house. He immediately called the police. Carol Dioria, 1010 Williams, at 92.3 FM at the Queens DA's office.
Wednesday time 4:31, time for Expanded Traffic and Transit with Greg Rice.
Now, Lori, it took them quite a while on the eastbound Long Island Expressway, especially, or closer to 2 hours, I should say. But they finally got rid of that accident on the eastbound Long Island Expressway getting out towards Little Neck Parkway, and they got the right lane reopened. So that is some welcome news at this hour, getting you home through Queens. Now, the eastbound LY is still bad from the BQE, but it is getting better. The northbound Whitestone-Van Wyck combination, extra tough from the LY to the Whitestone Bridge. Clearview Throgs Neck, Bronxbound, that treats you a whole lot better. Took them nearly 2 hours, but they've also cleared a crash on the inbound Skyway coming over to Tonnelle Avenue. That Stanford goes all the way back through Kearney. Outbound covered roadway is a mess for all of its faults, and it's got plenty. The Newark Bay extension is going better. Out of Lower Manhattan with the outbound Holland, we're still dealing with a 30-minute ride. 20 to 30 at the outbound Lincoln from 11th, but much better off of 9th. Inbound Lincoln Tunnel, you still have the broken down bus getting into the South Tube, so you've got the right lane out, and then it's an extra 20 minutes at the inbound Lincoln. Inbound George is fine. There's just nothing easy happening on that outbound ride. The citybound Midtown Tunnel, extra tough. Word of a crash getting into the tunnel. The Brooklyn-bound Brooklyn Bridge is crawling out of Lower Manhattan. The Manhattan Bridge is really going to do a whole lot better for you. I'm Greg Rice. Our next report is at 4:41. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here is meteorologist Carrie Schwindenhammer.
Overall, we're looking at freeze watches and warnings in effect for much of the area. And while there could be a shower in spots this afternoon, especially across the Hudson Valley, Connecticut, and Long Island. I think much of tonight is going to be dry with clearing skies and winds diminishing. Of course, with that the case, we'll probably see some widespread frost in the suburbs and even a hard freeze in some outlying areas where temperatures will drop into the 20s. Our low in the city, 36 degrees. Still chilly tomorrow, but lots of sunshine to go around, the high 50. Temperatures tomorrow night not as chilly as tonight, down to 42 in the city. And then milder air moves in for Friday with some sunshine, the high 59. We're back up to 63 for a high on Saturday, but probably a little more in the way of clouds than sunshine. Right now, 47 with some sunshine overhead, humidity 38%, and the wind northwest gusting near 30. We're at 47, going down to 36 in Midtown. On AccuWeather's Carrie Schwindenhammer on New York's weather station, 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
I think we're lost again.
Wait, what does that sign over there say?
Caution, wildlife crossing?
No, next to it.
If you're 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60. Ouch. I didn't know that. Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Wednesday time, 4:34. A grim new statistic today for the United States, which finds itself near the bottom of a worldwide list.
The nation's infant mortality rate increased by 3% in 2022, the largest increase in more than 2 decades. CDC's report found significant increases among white and Native American infants, along with boys and with babies born at 37 weeks or earlier. Health officials don't know the cause, but 2 of the leading causes of infant death, maternal complications and bacterial meningitis, both saw increases. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Jean Trebek, the widow of legendary Jeopardy host Alex Trebek, is teaming up with Katie Couric's Stand Up to Cancer to launch a new effort in the fight against pancreatic cancer.
I thought it would be a great idea to set up this fund at Stand Up to Cancer. And since he was all about the right answer, I think it's very fitting that this fund is now established in his name.
She, along with the estate of actor Barbara Hanania, made the initial $1 million donation to the Alex Trebek Fund. The fund aims to accelerate medical research into pancreatic cancer, which claimed Alex Trebek's life in 2020. Wednesday's time, 4:35. When it comes to cancer detection, British researchers say AI did a better job than a biopsy in detecting a rare type of sarcoma in the abdomen.
The team trained an algorithm to recognize a rare form of cancer, which can currently only be diagnosed through a biopsy, which often comes too late to save the patient. The results,
we found that the AI was twice as accurate as an invasive procedure.
Researcher Christina Messiu says the algorithm can now be trained to recognize more common forms of cancer.
Correspondent Vicki Barker. And AI is being enshrined in a dictionary. The Collins Dictionary has named AI as its word of the year, defining it as an abbreviation for artificial intelligence, the modeling of human mental functions by computer programs. That's what it says right next to AI. Other contenders for Collins' word of the year included de-influencing as well as nepo baby. Wednesday's time, 4:36. A very boozy beer is back just in time for the holidays.
Boston Beer Company has re-released its Sam Adams Utopias. They're banned in 15 states and weigh in at 28% alcohol by volume. Compare that to a typical hazy IPA at less than 7% or a bourbon barrel-aged stout at just 14. Boston Beer suggests you think of Utopias as more like a cognac or a port, best served at room temperature in snifters. 24.5-ounce bottles are priced at $240. They'll only be sold in select beer and liquor stores.
Correspondent Deborah Rodriguez. Wednesday's time, 4:37. The plastics now have kids.
This is going to be so fetch. Stop trying to make fetch happen, Mom. It's still not going to happen.
And the kids are ready to shop. 1010 Wins Entertainment is next.
During the pandemic, approximately 16,000 New York State residents living in long-term care facilities died of COVID. Many family members of these victims thought these nursing homes had blanket immunity, shielding them from lawsuits. But they were wrong. Jeff Guzman and the law firm of Crenshaw, Guzman, Herbert are the experts that have been fighting for the families whose loved ones contracted COVID in these nursing homes. If you or someone you know contracted COVID in a nursing home, call Jeff Guzman and his team at 212-227-20 2900. The KG Law Team will let you know if you are entitled to potential compensation. Jeff Guzman said the nursing homes were not prepared to take in COVID-positive patients, but they did it anyway, putting their own financial gain over the health of their residents. Call Jeff Guzman and the experts at the KG Law Team to see if you are entitled to compensation. For a free consultation, call Jeff Guzman at 212-227-2900. That's 212-227-2900. Or visit them at kglawteam.com.
Wednesdays on 438 now. 1010 wins entertainment. The Heart of Rock and Roll is coming to Broadway. A new musical featuring the songs of Huey Lewis and the News will debut at the James Earl Jones Theater this spring. Casting has not yet been announced. It's their kids who are now trying to make fetch happen.
Some things never change. On Wednesdays, we still wear pink.
Get in, sweetie, we're going deal shopping.
The cast of Mean Girls, minus Rachel McAdams, has reunited for a Walmart Black Friday commercial that plays kind of like a mini movie with their daughters now turning the tables on Mom. Wednesday's time, 4:39.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509. 800-555-1509.
All news all the time, now on 92.3 FM.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon, 47 degrees at 4:40. I'm Lori Metten, and here's what's happening. A man is struck and killed by a D train in Herald Square after apparently losing his footing on the platform and falling to the tracks. The suspect, wanted for gunning down a father and son in East Flatbush, is shot dead by police who say he came at them with a knife. The new report says nearly 120,000 public school students, a record, are homeless in New York City. The House votes tonight on whether to expel New York Congressman George Santos. Cher believes in Thanksgiving and will be starring at this year's big parade. It was a big day on Wall Street. The market surged for a third day in a row as the Fed left interest rates unchanged. 1010 Wins AccuWeather says clear, very cold tonight. We might see some frost in the suburbs. Wednesday's on 441. Time for expanded traffic and transit from the Mercedes-Benz of Edison.com Traffic Center. Here's Greg Wright.
Well, the ride home on the Turnpike is not what you envisioned. Southbound side of the Turnpike truck lanes coming down to Interchange 9 in Edison. Nasty crash, at least one left lane shut. Now all the truck lanes are just standing still. Southbound car lane's not perfect, but at least better. Northbound, everybody's getting nosy into Interchange 9 to see what's going on with the southbound ride. Garden State Parkway southbound a bit slow into Woodbridge. Northbound concerns at a Union, getting all the way up through